Hello, I'm John Bachman. The fight to fund the Department of Homeland Security may live to see another day, if you can believe that. Earlier today, the Senate approved a so-called clean bill that would bankroll the agency through September 30th. The measure, which passed by a vote of 68 to 31, was free of any immigration provision that would roll back President Obama's executive orders. Meanwhile, that proposal is likely to be dead on arrival once it reaches the House floor, and now House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi is lashing out against Republicans.
This is really amateur hour to the nth degree as to what the Republicans are doing.
Does all this sound familiar? Meanwhile, John Boehner, the House Speaker, won't kiss and tell when it comes to his plans.
You're going to put it on the floor, you're going to kill it, you're going to want to vote on it. Have you even had this discussion?
When we make decisions, I'll let you know.
We're still waiting. The House will vote on a short-term funding bill sometime later today. That funding for DHS does run out at midnight, no matter what happens in Congress. And, well, we shouldn't say that. We'll keep you posted. Some Republicans in Washington are trying to find a new way to fight back against that ruling from the FCC on net neutrality. They say the vote yesterday to regulate internet service providers like utilities will stifle innovation and raise costs. Now, some lawmakers are talking about new legislation to make sure the internet isn't overly burdened by regulation. And just outside of Washington, D.C. right now, of course, CPAC is going on, and it's Friday. A lot of folks scheduled to speak. Many of those folks had their sights set on a presidential run in 2016, even if they're not talking about it yet. Former Texas Governor Rick Perry took the stage earlier today. He's blasting President Obama for the rise of Islamic radicals in the Middle East.
This administration's incompetence in Iraq and Syria have allowed the emergence of ISIS. They're in American tanks. They're using American weapons.
Well, Perry also said it's time to shrink the government and bring an economic revival back to America. You can get complete coverage of CPAC on Newsmax.com and right here on Newsmax TV. We're waiting to hear from Florida Governor Jeb Bush. He's expected to take the stage very shortly. Also, we're sad to announce Leonard Nimoy, best known as Mr. Spock from Star Trek, has passed away at the age of 83. The New York Times reports he was suffering from lung problems. Doctors diagnosed him earlier this year with lung disease. And U.S. officials are meeting their Cuban counterparts today. Amid all this talk of normalizing relations between the two nations, Havana wants the U.S. to remove the island off its terror watch list, but U.S. officials believe that that might be a little too premature. And there seems to be a competition for everything nowadays, including this right here, cigar smoking, and whoever has the longest ash, or cigar ash, as we say. Cigar lovers gathered at an annual Havana Cigar Festival to see who could create this longest ash. This one's special for our producer, AJ, who's a big cigar smoker. Those are his long ashes. Another update coming up for you in 30 minutes. Now back to Midpoint with Ed Berliner.